In Leagues Cup 2023, we've been gifted with so many things in just a short amount of time thus far. This weird World Cup style tournament that's interrupting both the Major League Soccer and Liga MX seasons in the summer of 2023 is underway. The group stage is now over, and our next list of treats we are getting is the New York Derby, Thursday night, August 3rd at Red Bull Arena, 8 p.m. The New York Red Bulls will be hosting New York City FC for a round of 32 matchup in the 2023 Leagues Cup. In the East section, the New York Red Bulls finished on the top of Group East 4, while New York City FC finished second of Group East 3. I'm James Burley for WFUV Sports, and the New York Red Bulls reached this fortunate position of playing New York City FC at home in the knockout round after defeating both the New England Revolution and Atletico San Luis in the group stage. That first match against the Revolution on Saturday, the 22nd of July, they had just hosted the Revolution 2 weeks earlier to a 2-1 victory that included some controversial VAR decisions. And in this one, it's 0-0 for 90 minutes. The Red Bulls were the better team for most of that time. They had the better chances, scored a goal in the first half. Tom Barlow was offside, eventually disallowed, 0-0. We go into the 90 minutes in large part due to a massive Carlos Coronel save on Giacomo Vrioni in the 94th minute. And after, to fight for an extra point, as is Leagues Cup rules, it went straight to penalties, and the Red Bulls prevailed 4-2. JMI Tolkien got the winner with a very, very funny celebration at the end as well. But make no mistake about it, Carlos Coronel would be the hero after this one with another massive save in the penalty shootout once again on Vrioni. And despite this, the Red Bulls actually went down at the beginning of that shootout as Elias Manuel missed. But the Red Bulls would ultimately come back and get 2 points out of a possible 3 in their first match to finish ahead of New England, who then demolished Atletico San Luis in their game to go atop the group. And in the final match day on the 30th of July, the Red Bulls beat Atletico San Luis 2-1. Once again, the Red Bulls would have a goal disallowed in that first half as Luquinhas got on the board, but it was offside in the build-up. And once again, the opposition team had actually scored a goal. John Murillo scored for Atletico San Luis. That one was also brought back for an offside decision. But the Red Bulls would eventually strike first. Dante Van Zier, who has been getting a lot of scrutiny for not putting the ball in the back of the net, gets on a near-post header from JMI Tolkien, who has been a standout throughout this Leagues Cup, as well as Van Zier and Coronel. This corner from Tolkien was absolutely picture-perfect. Van Zier lost his mark to flick it in, and it had been several corner attempts in a row in which the Red Bulls looked dangerous. They were bullying San Luis in the air, but that did not stop San Luis from getting one of their own, as Coronel was forced into a terrific save on Diego Villalpando, who absolutely smacked a volley, but the rebound was left up in the air for John Murillo, who tapped it into the empty net. No one picked him up and running through the box to level things at 1 apiece. And it looked like maybe disaster could strike at Red Bull Arena, who controlled their own fate going into the match, just needed to get at least a draw to advance out of the group stage. A win would see them finish top. And in the dying moments, JMI Tolkien, who had been playing so well throughout the competition and in this match, whistled for a foul in the penalty area. It was the correct decision, certainly a penalty. Unai Bilbao, the center back, steps up, and what do you know, the hero Carlos Coronel comes through with a massive save late in that one to keep the Red Bulls away from elimination. That save essentially ensured that they would go through, but to make matters even better, going down the field less than a minute later is JMI Tolkien springing Dante Van Zier. That combination, again, assist to goal from Tolkien to Van Zier. A beautiful left-footed ball down the side, and Van Zier is able to finish it first time to put the Red Bulls ahead 2-1. It looked like they were going to even make it 3-1 as Elias Manuel got on the end of another chance just 2 minutes later, bullying Bilbao to get through and get a chance on goal. But unfortunately, it was whistled back for a foul in that scuff-up between the two. Just right before the final whistle did this all kind of transpire, and it was all done and dusted. When the final whistle blew, it was mostly relief. And the New York Red Bulls certainly knew the position that they were in, because a lot of fans and a lot of pundits picked them to finish 3rd out of 3 in this competition and in this group. Here's Coach Troy Lesesne talking about defying expectations throughout this Leagues Cup.
For the Derby, look, this is a big challenge. I think we all know that. Coming off of the feeling we have right now and an emotional high, which I told the guys to enjoy it, even though it wasn't exactly the perfect script of where we thought it would be when we were 1-0 up to win the group. We still won the group, and no one had us winning the group, by the way. Everyone had us finishing 3rd. So I think that's something that's very important to say. and say that's a good accomplishment. But now the next challenge comes, and it's a challenge, like you said, in a very talented New York City team in a derby for the team that's going to progress to the round of 16. So I think we have to enjoy this for now, but move on tomorrow.
Such a strange competition, yet such familiar foes face one another now in the round of 32 on Thursday night. The Red Bulls host New York City FC. It's their probably biggest rival in this moment of the game. Yes, their oldest rival is DC United. Yes, they fought Atlanta United for a supporter shield 4 or 5 years ago. But now it's really been, it's these guys or nobody when they play across the river. Nothing like it. And it's one of the best spectacles that North American soccer has to offer. It will be on a weeknight on short notice, so it won't be as big of a crowd as we'd see during MLS play, perhaps on a Saturday night. But this is still a big match with big implications on it. Neither side is looking very impressive in Major League Soccer play. So for them to both be playing well to this point in the Leagues Cup is a testament to what these teams are both made of potentially. And this tournament comes at a pivotal time in the league where we're about 2/3 of the way through the season, and you could really turn things around and make a push for the playoffs, which both of these teams are trying to do. They're both in an incredibly similar position. They both are relatively inconsistent with the way that they win games, and they both very much lack goal-scoring chops, but they've both shown that in their most recent matches that they can get them from the guys who count. Van Zier scoring 2, Tolkien setting up 2 assists. He's been very key to the Red Bull success going forward. He leads that team in assists, and for New York City FC, bringing in a new striker in Monsef Bakrar, finally to fill that Tati Castellanos-shaped hole they have in their roster. Big shoes to fill for him, but they did win 5-0 at Red Bull Arena against Toronto FC and their former goalkeeper, Sean Johnson. So both of these sides are coming in with a season high in confidence and with a lot of extra motivation now that they know it's their foes across the river that they're going to be playing for their lives in the Leagues Cup. And remember, if you finish within the top 3 of this competition, you go back to the CONCACAF Champions League. So this tournament, while disruptive in Major League Soccer season, in my opinion, does represent a really good chance to not only reset and recapture some focus and maybe get your best guys underneath you and start playing the right way again. Both of these teams are certainly trying to do that, trying to integrate new players now. In NYCFC's case, the Red Bulls will see if they progress further down the line, if their 2 signings from this window will come into play. But either way, both of these sides have a chance to win something, and they're going to have to go through one another at Red Bull Arena Thursday night. For WFUV Sports, I'm James Burley. I'll see you guys next time.